January 2026. Canada's fighter jet decision reaches its breaking point. A leaked evaluation shows the F-35 crushing Sweden's Gripen 95% to 33%. Yet Ottawa is seriously considering the Swedish jet anyway. Is this smart strategy, political calculation, or national suicide? November 2025 changed everything. Radio Canada obtained classified data from Canada's 2021 Defence Department fighter evaluation, and the results were devastating for Sweden. The F-35 Lightning II scored 95% across all categories, earning 57.1 points out of 60 possible. The Gripen E, 33%, just 19.8 points. The evaluation measured capability, delivery timelines, technical specifications, sustainability, upgradability, and mission performance. In every category, the F-35 dominated. The gap was particularly brutal in mission performance and upgradability, two metrics directly tied to pilot survival and long-term relevance. Former Royal Canadian Air Force Lieutenant General Yvon Blondin delivered the starkest warning during a Montreal radio interview. If Canadian pilots face Chinese or Russian aircraft in Arctic combat, an F-35 gives them 95% effectiveness. A Gripen? 33%. His message was blunt. This should be the first factor when deciding which fighters to buy for pilots who are someone's sons and daughters. The F-35's advantages are clear. Fifth-generation stealth, advanced sensor fusion integrating data from ships, satellites, aircraft, and ground systems. Seamless NORAD integration. This evaluation was completed before Prime Minister Mark Carney ordered a review in spring 2025. Only 16 of 88 F-35s have been committed. The remaining 72 aircraft are under review, with total costs reaching 27.7 billion Canadian dollars. Despite leaked scores, Saab isn't backing down. On January 14, 2026, CBC News confirmed Sweden's full proposal: 72 Gripen E fighters plus 6 GlobalEye surveillance aircraft. The promise? 12,600 jobs across Canada. The export opportunity makes it even more attractive. Ukraine has expressed interest in purchasing up to 150 Gripens as part of long-term defense modernization. Colombia just ordered 17 Gripen E and F models with deliveries from 2026 through 2032. Saab is proposing Canada as a third production site after Sweden and Brazil, manufacturing between 150 and 200 total aircraft for domestic use and international sales. Industry Minister Melanie Joly has made this one of her main goals for 2026, extracting greater economic benefits from defense spending. Lockheed Martin fired back with its own counteroffer, promising $15 billion in Canadian work if Ottawa maintains the full F-35 order. Saab CEO Mikael Johansson personally visited Canada in November alongside Swedish King Carl XVI, pitching directly to Bombardier executives in Montreal. A decision is expected sometime in 2026. Saab claims 3-year delivery for Gripens versus longer waits for F-35s. The technical debate has split defense analysts into two camps. Pro-F-35 advocates argue fifth-generation stealth is essential for countering Russian and Chinese threats in the Arctic. The F-35 isn't just a fighter. It's an intelligence-gathering, stealth-enabled, data-fusing node designed to operate as part of a larger integrated force. 4 F-35s can cover the same territory as several dozen fourth-generation fighters. Advanced sensor fusion dramatically enhances survivability, effectiveness, and interoperability with NORAD and NATO forces. The pro-Gripen argument comes from a fundamentally different perspective. Analysts argue the F-35 is entirely the wrong aircraft for missions the Royal Canadian Air Force actually performs. They claim Canada should redesign its force structure around aircraft optimized for Arctic interception, availability, and cost control, rather than deep strike stealth operations built around U.S. expeditionary warfare doctrine. The Gripen E was designed specifically for Nordic and Arctic conditions, short takeoff and landing capability, dispersed operations from highways and austere runways. Sweden achieved initial operational capability in October 2025. Recent developments include AI integration through Project Beyond, adding Helsing's Centaur agent to enhance pilot capabilities. The aircraft features Raven AESA radar, infrared search and track systems, and modular architecture for rapid updates. Political tensions are reaching a boiling point. U.S. Ambassador to Canada. Pete Hoekstra publicly expressed his irritation with Canadian indecision. During an interview with the National Post, he abandoned diplomatic language, stating it would be nice to put this decision to bed and that Canada's waffling personally irritates him. Prime Minister Mark Carney was elected in spring 2025 on a platform explicitly promising to reduce Canadian reliance on the United States. In March 2025, he stated that Canada's security relationship is too focused on the United States and the country must diversify. This came amid Trump administration threats about Canada becoming the 51st state and devastating trade tariffs. Canada currently spends 80% of its defense budget on American weapons. The pattern is spreading across NATO. Spain and Portugal already canceled F-35 orders after Trump imposed tariffs. Republican and Democrat lawmakers have warned Canada not to play games with NORAD, emphasizing that American integration is non-negotiable for continental defense. Construction is already underway at Cold Lake and Bagotville air bases for F-35 hangars and support infrastructure. Recent ECOS polling shows public opinion is fractured. 35% of Canadians support a mixed fleet approach. Only 13% support F-35s exclusively. Notably, 49% of Quebecers favor a Gripen-only fleet, making this a regional political powder keg. Defense Minister Bill Blair completed an internal review, but the report remains classified. The first F-35s are scheduled for delivery between 2026 and 2030. Former Royal Canadian Air Force commanders sent a private letter to Prime Minister Carney urging him to proceed with the full F-35 order. Tom Lawson and other retired defense chiefs warned there is no military sense in splitting the fleet between two fighter types. The operational complexity would be staggering. 2 separate supply chains, 2 training pipelines during a pilot shortage, double maintenance infrastructure, and incompatible weapons systems. Minister Jolie counters that all G7 countries operate mixed fleets. She's technically correct. The Royal Canadian Air Force currently operates 20 different aircraft types, but mixing frontline fighters is categorically different. The United States operates F-15S, F-16S, F-22S, and F-35S, but those were acquired over decades as technology evolved, not purchased simultaneously as competing platforms. Defense analysts warn the stakes extend beyond logistics. There's no guarantee Americans would integrate Swedish-made Gripens into NORAD's defense systems. This 40-year decision will define Canadian sovereignty versus alliance commitment. January 2026 marks Canada's crossroads. Leaked evaluation scores say the F-35 dominates by every military measure. Jobs numbers say Gripen rebuilds Canadian aerospace. The decision ahead will define Arctic security for the next 40 years. Which fighter would you choose based on these leaked scores? Like if capability matters most to you. Subscribe for defense updates. Comment whether Canada should prioritize military effectiveness or economic sovereignty.